smoke weed every day.
What's the motherfucking deal? Excuse me, sorry about that. I had to walk Scotty. I actually had to have Mrs. Honcho activate the Kush den while I took that shitty dog out to go shit. Actually, as a matter of fact, I gotta get there. We'll get the Kush line going a little bit later. So, what's the motherfucking deal? I hope everybody's well. I hope everybody is doing fine. We're gonna have a very interesting topic tonight. We're gonna talk about our black female role models trash. Now, before we get into that, I have to welcome everybody to the Kush den. If you're not familiar with the Kush den is a 420 friendly community and conversation. And even if you don't smoke, pour yourself up a nice adult beverage. Have a drink. If you don't drink, pour yourself up a nice warm glass of milk, sit back, relax, and enjoy the conversation. Everybody is welcome. I actually didn't have a chance to see the see the concert, Mr. Rabbit, so I didn't get a chance to check all that out. So here's the deal. Yes, we're going to talk about we're women bashing, where the women are bashing themselves. So there's that. This has nothing to do with men. These bitches beating each other up. That has nothing to do with us. So we're just going to talk about it. Are they shitty role models? I mean, what can I do about that? If they're going to beat their own selves up, that has nothing to do with me. So here is the deal. Again, I hope that you're all having a wonderful evening. Hope that everybody is good. Hope that everybody's had a solid day. And let's see. Let's get this going, of course. Make sure I get my comeuppance. So here's the deal. Yes, Leslie Jones is a stand-up woman with stand-up hair. She should be a great role model for any and everyone. So there's that. My thing is this. So it's not only the Nicki Minaj and Cardi B's of the world. These are young, stupid hoes. I mean, you expect that from dumb young bitches, hood rats of the sort. But we're talking about the old bitches too. Fucking Mary J. Blige and Faith Evans. I mean, their time is come and gone. Except for fucking Mary J. Blige and that stupid "Is it a gun, is it a knife" song. And there's that whole thing. So, and I'm just sitting here like, how basically all in the same day, it seems, or the span of a few hours, what's the motherfucking deal, McVice? How the fuck is it that the young, stupid role models of the generation and old, quote unquote, entertainment role models? So we talk about R&B. There's no R&B anymore. These are supposed to be R&B singers. These are supposed to be women who helped other women get through tough times with their music, but apparently you can't put black women in places with each other, I guess with some supposed or assumed competition or something like that, without something happening, a brawl breaking out or whatever else it may be. Tune in tomorrow, Danny, and you can find out tomorrow's score. So like I say, it's craziness. It has me thinking, are all the supposed role models for black women, are they all trash? I mean, I'm sure that we have some relevant ones here and there, but my thing is, why does it seem as though when it's always comes to the bigger names or the, I guess you would say, somewhat relevant name, maybe not even so much relevant, that it's always an issue, man. They say, are Cardi B and Nicki Minaj role models? Yeah, to certain people, they treat them as role models. They put these people out in the forefront of what were they on the Alexa commercial and all this other stuff. People treat them as role models. Nicki Minaj has her whole Stan clan. 12-ounce mouse. Yeah, I've heard of that. Wasn't that the cartoon or something like that? That's a more ideal role model, you would think. Serena Williams, she's a stand-up woman, an athlete, but most of these bitches ain't athletic. Most of these bitches just want to be recognized for existing, or going getting they want to get recognized for putting on the most makeup that they fucking can, the most fake hair in their head that they fucking can. They don't want to be recognized for actual greatness. Serena Williams is is greatness. You know, Oprah. I don't know about old Oprah. You know, Oprah is a role model. Oprah is a role model. You know, she's a dirty, low key feminist, and she's probably out there dyking. It is what it is. But Oprah is a role model. You know, to something to aspire to. I give Michelle Obama credit, even though she said some stupid shit. You know, this is a woman with degrees, and you know, you made it to be the First Lady of the United States, and they ask her who she looks up to, and then she says something goofy and off the wall like Beyonce. So that's kind of like my problem with her. You could talk about any other great woman in the world that you aspire to be or you look up to, and then you say Beyonce, and that is. If you're a young black girl trying to come up and you're trying to do something, you know, with yourself via education, or you're trying to aspire to become, you know, some great profession, and you see a woman who is, I forgot what school she went to, but she went to I guess what you would consider a prestigious university, and then she says that her role model, or somebody she idolizes or looks up to, or is, you know, Beyonce. That just wouldn't that just make you say, well, fuck it, I guess I need to just sing and dance all day? To me, that blows my mind. You know, that's really crazy. Michelle Obama opened our eyes to racism at Target. I don't know anything about that. I know Oprah had the little racism incident in France when they gave her comeuppance. So somehow you can't afford these. Like, bitch, I'm Oprah. I could buy this whole motherfucking store. So there's that. Let's see. What else we got? What are y'all talking about? But say the Jags will get Phillip Rivers because they're going to be like, we want to win the Super Bowl, and he ain't going to win. LA also is a culture change. Like, I'll give you 2 first-round picks. It's like, that's not going to happen. Well, we know mothers can't be role models because they always want some credit on some shit they never did and put their pussy on the pussy. Yeah, exactly. These mothers out here trying to be role models. But I have no problem. The mother could be a good role model. That's where the role model should honestly be. But for some reason, you don't get that. I don't know what that is. Why these young women don't look up to their mothers. Again, but you know the reason why is you have an overwhelming majority of these mothers who don't want to be shit, and so that's the thing. See, the problem is, here's the problem that we have, Heidi, is you're looking at things through one lens and I'm looking at things through a different lens, and my lens may be dirtier than your lens, and your lens may have a little bit too much polish on it, so the light is a little bit too bright for you to see what's really going on, and my lens may be a little bit more murky and a little bit harder for me to see the shine, if you catch my drift. And so I think that when even though we're using the same terminology, we're talking about the same things, we're looking at it through 2 completely different lenses, bifocals, if you will. No, not quite bifocals, but because I'm telling you what I'm seeing. I'm looking at it from a perspective of from the bottom looking up. And because my thing is, you know, the middle class and whatever, I mean, that's already fine. Well, how do we fix the problems at the bottom? And when you have a lot of shit representation at the bottom, and continue to perpetuate a lot of the bullshit and the stereotypes, and these are the ones primarily at the bottom, where you have a significant number of people, and this is what they look up to try to come up is the Nicki Minaj and the Cardi B's of the world, the entertainers of the world, and, you know, the athletes. But I think the athletic aspect of it is slightly more respectable than being an entertainer, because at least you can try to get in shape. You know what I mean? You may not be super successful, but at least you can get yourself in shape and somewhat be kind of healthy. That's my deal. So, you know, it is what it is. Polish lenses, no. Not seeing clearly. A little bit too much, what is that shit? Fucking, no, we don't put Windex on glasses. But what happens is you go out in the sun and the sun is blinding you. You see it a little bit too much. So beast mode engaged. What's the motherfucking glare? There you go. 335. Yes, you stare. You tend to stare at the glare. So there's that. So we got to look at who was the Cardi B and the Nicki of the 90s and 80s. Then we just have our answer. Well, who I mean, who identify that? Who is the Cardi B and Nicki of the '90s and '80s, Dominic? I would like your input on that one. Fuck you, Dr. Rabbit. You're not even a real doctor. I've seen his medical license. I'm sure he's a real doctor. But my thing is, you know, you have people these days who, again, you know, my thing is more so it's not even that are the role models trash, but this is where I start talking about black feminists because they put these type of women at the forefront. Oh, they're sexually liberated and, you know, they're this and they're empowering because they put on a shit ton of makeup. They're empowering because, hell no, I ain't on my shit. I'm going to get back on it one day. They're empowering because what? What are they empowering for? Nicki Minaj is what? Fucking, I don't know how old that bitch is, but hasn't ever done anything necessarily relationship wise or family wise or anything like that. I mean, so I guess maybe that's empowering because the new feminists, they don't want families. They just want to be strong women, I guess. And then that's why you see her doing all the crazy outlandish shit she has because she has no stability. She has no real mental foundation. She's losing her structure. And you can tell, like I say, she's just envious. She has no kind of sense of stability because, again, her only thing that she has to work with is that false foundation, which we talked about yesterday, you know, cosmetically. I mean, what does she have to really bring to the table? What does she rap about? Nothing beneficial. Her pussy. My pussy does this, my pussy does that. Everybody has one of those. What's so special about that? What are you really rapping about? And then again, you're not even writing your own shit. Neither is Cardi B. But, you know, this is what I'm saying. Like, you know, women back then, back in the 90s, well, I wouldn't say 90s because you had your Little Kims and your Foxies, and they were definitely on their own little tangent. But you're talking about like the ladies with the MC in front of their names, the lights, you know what I'm saying? Shit, even Latifah, I mean, she didn't have an MC in front of her name, but she was a solid role model, even though she had some movie where she was all tittied out. I don't recommend you see that. But here's the thing. No, I'm not going to do that, Dominic. Until you get over your fear of bullies. So there's your thing. Black women, Odell Beckham. Yeah, that makes about a little bit of sense. But again, my thing is just that where's the unity that they all scream and holler? Because like I say, these same women sit here tell us it's always men that are doing this to us, and it's always men that are doing it. But these bitches can't even come together in an arena that's heavily dominated by men. And I'm not so much talking about not Mariah Carey. Fucking she's cuckoo too, but Mary J. Blige and Faith Evans. I don't know what their beef was, you know. But again, it's supposed to be Fashion Week. It's supposed to be a time when people are coming together to show off new trends and do all this other shit. But these motherfuckers want to fight each other and do all kind of little stupid shit and, you know, make a scene. Like they don't have the class to have whatever discussions they have or discuss whatever needs to be talked about. Because, I mean, it's not like you in the streets. I mean, I don't know how wealthy you are. I actually heard Mary J. wasn't getting, like, she got fucked out of a lot of her money. I don't know what Faith Evans ever got. That's really none of my business. I really don't care about all that. But the thing is, you're in the public eye. You're not some bitch from around the corner, you know what I'm saying, and fucking whoever's man and all that other stuff. Like, what is the purpose of fighting? Why can't you sit down and have a civil conversation? What is the issue? Because it can't be that serious. Ain't nobody get bodied. Ain't nobody kill somebody family or whatever else it may be. What is the purpose? What are these altercations over? Again, status in the public eye. You know, and I'm sure Minaj has some shit that she's been doing because she's been really running rampant lately because she's feeling like Cardi B is hacking away at her little fan base. That's why she's not number one. That's why she's not getting the fame and recognition that she feels like she deserves. And so she's upset about it because she's been lashing out at any and everybody that she possibly can. Let me do that. But so I feel like she's probably the one that instigated the situation, honestly, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that happened. So from what I heard, that Cardi B threw a shoe or some shit like that because she couldn't quite get at her. But again, I'm sure Nicki Minaj looked like the type of bitch that'll start a bunch of shit up and then try to look like she ain't do shit and fall back and all that other stuff. But again, it really doesn't matter. Again, it's I definitely agree she's having a mental breakdown because you see she's lashing out at any and everybody that she can. She's upset that this album didn't happen. We talking about, I wanted to punch Travis. Travis Scott didn't ever do anything to this bitch. Did nothing to this hoe. But she's mad because his album outsold hers. What type of person just automatically assumes because I exist, I'm supposed to have the number one this and number one that without any real effort? You know what I mean? What kind of ego do you have to have? What's up, Joe's house? What's the motherfucking deal? Do I think these broads have mental issues? I think a lot of them do. I think a significant amount of them do. And the chocolate, yes, the chocolate. You can't stop the chocolate, raging chocolate. But I think a significant amount of them do, and I think that you have to, you know what I'm saying, address that. I think a lot of people have mental issues that go unnoticed, or what do I say unnoticed, but I wouldn't even say undocumented. What is the word I'm looking for here? Well, it's not even unrecognized because it's recognized, but people just kind of pass it off. You know what I mean? And that's part of the problem because people just say, oh, you know, they're just a little crazy, or it's dismissive towards these behaviors like it's acceptable. And these things are not. They are not acceptable. What the hell are you talking about, Robbie Rotten? What the fuck are you talking about, Dominic? You smoking dope. You smoking that shit again. You're worried about the bullies in school that got you scared. You smoking that shit again. But like I said, you know, not undiagnosed. That's not what I'm saying. Because people like, what I mean, I guess you could say undiagnosed as not being official, say, oh, that person has mental illness. But what I'm saying is that people accept it. People are willing to say, oh, you know, that person's a little thrown off, but it's okay because, you know, 70% of the time they're pretty cool, but that 30% of the time they're a little thrown off. So they don't, you know, they're dismissive. They're accepting of it being whatever it is. What question do you have here? What are you talking about? Let me see. What are you talking about? What is your question that you have here? It's like, oh man, the dude that got killed in Dallas, man, I knew something was deeper than that, dog. Turns out, apparently, him and that fucking bitch cop used to fucking date, or they were talking or something, because there's a picture with her and him in it. And that's what kind of made me think, I'm like, man, it has to be something deeper than that. You know, because everything else about the dude was pretty squeaky clean. What happened is he hit her with the mule and she couldn't take it because he probably moved on. Again, women with undiagnosed mental illness, a lot of law enforcement officers with undiagnosed mental illnesses, a lot of sociopaths in law enforcement. This is a real thing. And I don't know if becoming a sociopath is something that as a habit that can be developed, or it's just something you start out with. But yeah, that shit was fucked up. Basically, he didn't moved on, I'm sure, and so she didn't kill him. But I'm sure what's going to happen is that she's going to try to find a way to spin it. She's going to try to, yeah, that's the story about the cop that thought they were in their own apartment. Yeah, if you thought you were in your own apartment, what happened is because your ass got fucked up, and he probably bodied you a couple of times in that apartment, and you fucked up, was trying to get you some in there, and it didn't work out that way. So you may remember it being in that apartment, but that ain't your apartment, bitch. Develop psychosis. Oh, well, there it is. And I think that a lot of law enforcement officers have that. Yeah, that happened in Dallas also. There's a lot of off the wall shit happening in Dallas. She's listening to Take Care. I wouldn't know how that goes. I've never heard it. Everybody else drinks. I don't know what he talks about. And then Dominic, I worry about Dominic. If you do get bullied, I may understand why. He hit her with the D in the triple D, and so she didn't know what to do with herself. As I say, you got to be careful. You got to be careful with who you fooling with. You know, you don't give it to them too good. You know, you try to move on, they may not move on. They may be stuck too, and then you have problems that you have to deal with. I've already reported it. Yeah, I definitely reported it. You know, so there's that. They're not gonna say Honcho had a chance. They're gonna be like, who is that, Edelman or Amendola or somebody? Where they was talking about, oh, he reported that and he saved the thing. So I definitely had to hit the report. I had to snitch. Like, look, I'm trying to be a hero over here. So if something goes down and they save it, you know, hey, Honcho saved the day. So they're watching you, Dominic. Be careful. Joshua, what's the motherfucking deal? My thing is this, though. You have, if he writes the Kush Den shit, maybe we'll get some followers if that's the case. You know, maybe they'll be like, hey, thanks to the Kush Den that this was prevented. And they're like, well, what the fuck is the Kush Den? Revere the Paul Revere. I don't think that's helping. That's not helping at all. Oh, yeah, they beat the brakes off it. Man, I'm just telling y'all, Kevin Sumlin's a fraud, dog. That dude has been a fraud since day one. He's only been successful with other people's recruits. When it comes time for him to utilize his own players, it's just don't happen. Again, I guess you can make a career out of that, you know, basically following behind somebody else's trails and benefiting over that. Yeah, by posting that on your Instagram, I don't think that's really going to happen. Yeah, that's what it is, man. He get to fly in a helicopter and all that other shit and do nothing. He's not a good coach at all. Again, just as always fell in everybody else's wake and was able to thrive for a year or two, then bounce over and go somewhere else, be good for a year or two, stink it up, go somewhere else. And I mean, but if that's the legacy that he wants to have, you know, it is what it is. To me, he's been a fraud. Like he's always been a fraud in my book. Yeah, Kendall Briles. Kendall Briles actually played when I played. So there's that. Man, that's what I was actually interested in, like a little co-op situation school. I think that would be super dope. Like, I think that would be really cool. The Kush Den co-op for parents who smoke weed. So you have, you know, when it's not your day to do the homeschooling, you can go get lit. You can relax. You can chill. You know, then when it's your day to take care of the kids, you know, other parents get to go do their thing. They get to have an off day, relax, and smoke the reefer. So my thing, yeah, and I think that makes the most sense too, because when you homeschool, you know that you're going to have weaknesses in certain subjects, and I think that when you cater to the strength of whatever parents has, you know, is better at certain things. And again, like I said, it allows the opportunity for certain people free up. No, I'm not going to do that. Cushington will be teaching them how to have gas, and that's about it. How to lay down wet farts on stream. That would be very unfortunate. That's very strange. That's a very strange thing, Dominic. Tom Herman, yeah. See, Tom Herman's fucking dumb as fuck, dog. That's what I say. You know, again, these motherfuckers out here, coaches out here clout chasing, you know, and can't handle the stage they're on. If he was smart, he could have built. If Tom Herman had any fucking sense, but again, we always want to run to the big name schools. He wants to go feel that he can do it. He could have turned U of H into a legacy. Easily could have built the legacy of U of H to the point where you'd have fucking conferences begging U of H to join, because all you would have had to do is stay there 3 or 4 years, continue winning. If you'd have continued on the path that you were on, you'd have still had big name recruits coming in. You'd have still been able to pull in big name recruits. You would have plenty of talent, and then you let something fuck around and happen, like U of H get a chance to go to the wouldn't be the Big Ten, maybe the SEC, because you would want all those that Houston talent represent the SEC, something like that. And make a big name for yourself, and you'd have a legacy. You created that. Not that I went to go join a school that already had a history and I failed there, you know. Now you're going to be hated not only in Houston, you're going to be hated in Austin, and you're basically going to be kicked out of the state of Texas. Ain't nobody going to fuck with you. So there's that. You know what I mean? No, it wasn't hard. It wouldn't be hard to recruit to U of H at all. If U of H was winning, which they were when they were ranked before, you know, he left and bounced and kind of did what he did. But if you're talking about, hey, You don't even have to leave your city because you have so much fucking talent right here in Houston. You don't have to leave your city. We're beating the brakes off Oklahoma. We're beating name teams. Lamar Jackson came to town. We beat the shit out of him. You know, all these guys you're seeing on TV, we're beating the fuck out of them. Now, all you got to do is, hey, stay home. Your friends and family will come see you play. You're talking about a brand new stadium, brand new facility. You got all this other stuff. You stick with us for a couple of years, we're going to move to a bigger conference. You lied to the kids like all coaches, all schools lie to the fucking kids. And again, you build that platform and you created that platform. You're the one who did that. You become a god in the city. You become a god in college football because you've taken a small fucking platform. I don't think it would be a similar situation like Boise State. I think it would be you could do greater than that. And then, look, hey, you give them guns. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't matter. All that shit is getting gentrified anyway. That's all irrelevant. Again, yeah, you know, back when we was there, it was third war football. Now it ain't nothing like that. You know what I mean? So. And anyways, like, I mean, yeah, it's about U of H. They just got to do stadium. And so what I'm saying is, you're going to be technically, it's going to be over with. They're going to continue on. Ed Oliver going to have a solid senior, or not senior year, solid last year. I see what you did there. Hey, and again, yeah. And you could tell he's like, hey, not only do you get all the hoes here at U of H, you get to have all these hoes here at TSU too. Those are yours too. Because trust me, they ain't worried about TSU. These are yours too. So it's like you get 2 schools worth of hoes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, again, like I say, they're not tripping on that shit. And you bring in the fucking rappers and shit because you see everybody's all involved with the shit. Paul Wall and Slim Thug and all that shit. You bring them through. Yeah, they take you to Dave Buster's. That's where I went. I went to fucking David Buster's. And then immediately after that, what was the club back then? Fucking 8 Mile or Connections or something. We went some places after that. Then we went to a house party. A bunch of stupid shit. But my thing is, again, these women, why are they bringing each other down? Why is there not the solidarity? Where is this unity? Where are the black feminists when this type of stuff happens? You know, they sit here and talk about it's black men that bring them down. We don't want to see them winning, but yet it's one black woman who feels like she's at the top of the tower, doesn't want to see another woman who doesn't even really claim to be black, Afro-Latina, if you will, but she doesn't identify as black, even though everybody wants to lump her in a category she doesn't want to be in. It is what it is, whatever. And then the other one is trying her best to try to look like she's something she ain't. Again, it is what it is. Mental disease. And that's why I say, you know, a lot of women who require all this unnecessary makeup, who require all this fucking weave and shit that they put in their head, mental illness, in my opinion, you know. I mean, when you're more than willing, matter of fact, the lady Honcho sent me something that made me sad not that long ago. And it was a picture of like a little, basically like a fucking little lace front little wig ass weave for a little fucking girl. And I'm like, shit, motherfuckers gonna be buying the shit out of just your average little ponytails, but motherfuckers gonna be buying that shit because shit, these motherfuckers are perming the fuck out their kids' head when they 2-3 years old, man. Like, that shit is sick. You're willing to put your child under chemical fucking treatments. Because that's what the fuck a perm is. It's not like, oh, the shampoo and my hair's off. You're talking about a chemical treatment that burns the fuck out of your shit, that erases the quality of your hair, just so you can try to say that your shit is straight. And it's not even like it's flowy straight. It's like the stiffest, fucking straightest, fucking weird looking shit that you ever seen. And that's what the fuck you have. The German. How does that come full circle? You're building properties on land that was destroyed by your people, and now you're back at it. Tis, tis, tis. Isn't that funny how life goes full circle? But again, you know, and so that's my thing, is just like, it's all craziness. A lot of kids just go, the majority of the kids at your school got perm. The majority of the black women at your school, I don't know how many, it's probably 3. That's what seems kind of school you go to. 2 out of those 3 have fucking perms or weave or something in their head. If not all 3. So there's that. Well, you know, I mean, and again, that's why I say it's a sickness. It's an epidemic, if you will, and it's a very unfortunate epidemic. But that's my spiel. That's my deal. But my thing is too is why is he's gonna enjoy Austin Burns? Hey, I'm the only black in all my class. Oh man, I remember those old days. But that was high school. Fucking college, I didn't have that issue because I ain't ever go to class. So there's that. But man, and that's a good question. So, you know, if you're the only black person in your class, does that make you a representative of the people, or does that make you a representative of yourself? Because sometimes you wonder, you think about certain things, and you wonder, does this make me the representative because I'm the one that they see, the one that they know, or the only one that they can somewhat identify with? Or is it just, hey, I'm entitled to be me and be who I am. I don't have to represent for all of the fucking world to see. You know, that's what I'm curious of. T'Challa, good to see you. You say you cool with everybody. When you see the world sees you. So even when I'm at home doing my own thing. Interesting. You said I'm the smartest person in most of my classes. Man, I could definitely agree with you that there used to be a lot of airheads in the gifted and talented classes. Like the only reason they were there because their parents had money, but they were not smart. Not smart, dog. Like I'd given an E for effort, but they were not bright kids. You know, made me wonder, like, am I being lied to? Is this really gifted class, or are they just switched the word around? Some of these kids are fucking dumb as a doorknob, and so, you know, it makes me wonder. What I miss with Nicki Minaj is a bitch. That's pretty much been the whole conversation. That Nicki Minaj is a bitch, Cardi B's a dumb broad, and the old black women don't know when to give it up. UT wants to hire Major Applewhite again. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, the motherfuckers using U of H as a propeller board and shit. You know, it's very strange. But yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Like, so even when I'm in the dark minding my own business, can the world see me doing what I'm doing? If so, shame on them. Here's my thing. Here's my question. All right. Here's a question I have. I've always wondered this. All right. Say you live in your neighborhood, right? Say, you know, you've paid for your house. You know, it's yours. You own your own property. You're free to do whatever you want to do in your house. Again, I'm sure there's, of course, you know, not certain illegal things. You don't be killing people. That doesn't pass. Well, you can't kill people in your house if they broke in, you know, against the rules. But say you like walking around your house naked, right? This means your house. You should be entitled to do that. Is it illegal to stand like in your fucking front window if you just want to look out and just see what's going on in the neighborhood? Now, the neighborhood outside, that's public. You know what I mean? That's where people and everybody is. Inside your house is private, right? So if I have my window wide open, though, even though that kind of, I guess, eliminates the element of privacy slightly, but that's for me to be able to see what's going on outside, not necessarily telling everybody, hey, look inside my house. Am I not allowed to stand in front of my window butt naked if I want to? You know? Yeah, I mean, I'm just, this is the question that I've had. I'm not asking for a friend, I'm asking for my goddamn self. I want to know shit. You know? That's indecent exposure to the public. Well, the goddamn kids need to be inside the goddamn house anyway. Fucking kids don't go outside anymore. All they do is fucking play whatever that fucking shit is. Dominic's always talking about mind blocks or some shit. So if the little kids want something like, but I mean, what if you live in a kid-free community? One of those, you know, and how do y'all feel about that? Like, is that wrong? Because I've seen some things in a couple of places. I want to say one was like in New Mexico or Arizona, somewhere like that. And I'm not listening to anything, so I don't even know why I have this on. But there was basically like they were trying to petition something basically not to have to pay school taxes because they were trying to, or I don't know if it already was, or if they were creating a kid-free community, because they're like, nobody here has children, and so why should we have to contribute to, paying taxes for schools and things like that, for resources and things that we don't fucking use. I have the Battlefield 5 beta, and I may fuck with it later on. I'll see. I said I'll give y'all a mixture on the weekends, but we'll see. We'll see what's up with that. But I do have the beta, so I'll check it out. No, it's not about showing your wiener to little kids. It's about me wanting to be able to walk around my house naked. And so then, like I say, so if I fucking, and I say, hey, look, this is me, this is my house. What if I'm trying to, hey, look, what if I'm trying to impress the mail lady? Hey, yo, the mail ladies, they be having them thick ass legs. They be walking all over the place. But I'm just trying to say, hey, got a package for me? Because I got a package for you. Hey, yo. But that might get you in trouble too. Is that bad? Because like male people are government workers. I'm pretty sure that's like a law against that. Whoa. Now you're talking all A Jonesy over there, 335. I'm telling you. Yeah, so both of y'all sound like Young Buck and A Jones over there. You got to be careful with y'all. But shit, I'm pretty sure they are. I've seen some male ladies that look like male ladies. So there's that. Hey, I'm telling y'all, Sauce Porn Productions is coming. Y'all stay tuned. That might be how the first one jumps off. Hey, USPS, you have a package for me? Because I've got a package for use. Too much sauce, and that's how it starts. You say because you need to still pay for the roads for Ted Cruz to get sweets at the Rock. Man, I'm telling y'all, vote for Beto, because Ted Cruz is the reason the Rockets lost. Goddamn. United Situation for Penile Standards. That's what it stands for. But anyway, my thing is this though, and that's awful. Like, I mean, honestly, like that just because of that, Beto don't even look like a dude who'll go to a sporting event. He'll just be a Waterberg getting stoned and skateboarding in the parking lot. So there's that. Let's see. Let me see. Lil Pump and Kanye playing Roblox. Okay. That's my thing too. That's something I was kind of tying into last night. Shout out to Man Up for last night. It was funny because he was saying he got a little heated, but I was like, man, that's not too bad. I don't think that was too bad. I think that's like the standard level for American heating. But appreciate Man Up. That was a very good conversation yesterday. Yeah, I'm with the convicted burglary. You know what I'm saying? At least we'll know he's going to steal the money. He's not going to act like he won't and steal it. At least we'll know, hey, where'd that money? Oh, there goes Beto again. But my thing is this. That's my problem with a guy like Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is not Texan standard, and this is what disappoints me in a lot of Texans. You're willing to go for this fucking dick sucker, dog. Like you like, this is what I don't get. Like, people can say about McCain shot first or whatever. Or mainly Heidi, but at least he didn't just completely flip the script. Like, this is what I hate about politics. This is why I say, like, I don't. All of these motherfuckers are trash to me, because these same motherfuckers will sit here and run up to election, or people trying to get the nomination or whatever it may be, and they'll talk all this shit. They'll sling all this mud for each other. Then, oh well, it's for the sake of the party that we have to be friends. Like, if that ain't the fakest shit, like that, if you talk about me and my history and my family and all this other shit, and then you beat me out, now I'm supposed to kiss you, man, bitch, fuck you. We gonna fight on sight when I see you. That's why, like, I have no respect for a guy like Ted Cruz. Like, you let fucking Trump talk all this shit about you, and now it's, I'm everything that he's like, man, fuck you. Tell that motherfucker suck my dick, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? I skeet in Melania's face. You know what I'm saying? That bitch is a whore. I'd be on all kind of shit. Like, there would be no stopping me. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, regardless of your beliefs, like, as a man, as a person, like, how can you feel like this is the guy that's going to stand up for what you believe when he's over here sucking fucking Trump's dick? Like, and he talked all that fucking shit about him. And then another thing, he's not even a real Texan. He's a fucking Canadian, man. Like, he's a fucking illegal immigrant. That shit was the crazy shit, though. Like, that shit is what's wild to me, man. But that's not a blood sport. That's a fucking pussy popping contest. That's what the fuck that is. It's just like, shit, who gonna do the most mark ass shit? It's just it really bugs me, dog. Like, to me, that's cowardice. Like, you can lose. That doesn't mean that you got to go fucking suck the other motherfucker's tit because, you know, they won. Well, you beat me. I'm going to agree. Like, nah, motherfucker, you attacked me personally. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, we got beef. We got some issues. You know what I'm saying? We going to fight like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj because we got real issues. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to throw a shoe at your bitch ass. But instead, yep, that's my guy. Hey, that's my buddy. Hey, yeah, I'm a Trump politic guy. Like, I don't care if you're for Trump policy, if that's been your method the entire time. But don't get embarrassed by this motherfucker, clown by this motherfucker, talk all this shit, tell you, say this motherfucker's stupid, he don't know this and he don't know that. But then as soon as he beats you out, no, I'm all for this guy. This is my bud. This is my pal. Like, that shit is in it, to quote the wise philosopher Spitz, that shit is fugazi. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it is. Pull your dress up, show your ass. Like, Cardi is she's a fucking real hood rat, though. Like, Nicki, you would think if she had some money for a little while. Cardi's been around for like a year maybe. Other than that, she like fresh out the strip club. You know what I'm saying? She still smell like locker room badussy. You know, so she ain't got no sense. But you would think Nicki Minaj, she's been here for a little bit, she'd have some kind of fucking sense. But it is, she said, intimidated the judge. It was funny. Oh, yeah, they're afraid of Serena. They try to fucking change the outfit rules and everything else for Serena. They can't handle all that. You know what I'm saying? All that junk in the trunk. Junk in the trunk. But it is what it is. Some people take politics personally and hold grudge, and some let it roll off and realize it's a game. But my thing is, it ain't a game when you talk about me or about family or anything like that. No game. You know, or if we're going to play the game, we're going to change the rules. You know what I mean? But that's why I say, like, it's a lame game. That's a game that I can't play, like, because that's a game where it requires you to be false. And that's why I say I don't like any politicians, because even if it is a game, and that's a good point that it is a game, but that game requires you, to put on a fake front, to impress people, to lie. It's a lie. So that's why I say I don't get into any of that shit. Well, Dominic, that'll get you banned. But it is what it is. But my thing is this, you know, that's why I believe Dominic is. That's probably a picture of him. He's talking about he's retweeting it to warn people. I think that's Dominic's picture. You know, so there's that. But you see, I'm doing that to put on Nike brand, for example, KD. KD. Nike needs to cut him. You know, like, you can't have a guy like Kaepernick and then surround him with snakes. I mean, y'all trying to, what is this, a recreation of the Garden of Eden or some shit? You know what I mean? Oh, there you go, Wise. I was giving him a hard time, but that's fucking funny. But I give this, Nike was one of the first companies to put black people as the forefront of the company. They said it was like OJ before that, and that's about it. You know, and we saw what happened with OJ, so there's that. But my thing is, again, you know, you look at sports, you look at entertainment, you look at all these things. Is this the society that we live in today, or is it that people are just naturally that way? What is with all the beef, with all the envy, when, again, it's nobody that's done anything to you personally? Because I'm looking at the Steelers, and I'm looking at who is that, Pouncey, and fucking I don't know if Alvin Nueva actually came out and said something, but like, again, I told you that I know for a fact that if Pouncey came out and said whatever he was saying, and he mentioned Alvin Nueva, that means they've had conversations, and so they've talked about it. So he's saying shit too, and you're speaking down on this man again. A money situation. But you see the motherfuckers who got paid, who got money, AB, he ain't tripping. He say he's staying with him because he ain't worried about his pocketbooks ain't getting fucked over. He cool with the shit. Man, I want to say blacks taking over. These motherfuckers, the only thing we take over is an IHOP after the club. And if I hop 2 packs, she be going to Waffle House. Niggas can't get shit in unison, man. And that's the big problem. You know what I'm saying? That's my big problem. Like, there is no organization, there is no structure, there is no it's too many divisions. You know, the niggas who preach, hey, responsibility and you know, progress and, hey, you know, shit like that, they get shunned. No, that's fuck that. You know, the white man owes us something. You got the niggas who believe that, you know, everybody else is a piece of shit, and you know, we're the magic race. And I think that sounds good and it feels good, but at the same time, then why are we at the bottom of the barrel? Why is that so hard to figure out? Like, I think there's just too many divisions within the black mind frame, or even the whatever you would call black leadership or whatever else it may be, for us to be able to come together and figure anything out. So that's the thing that bothers me. Why say those snap? Let's see. Would you welcome back Tom Herman? Absolutely not. Fuck that motherfucker. Paul Wall gave him a grill and that nigga bounced. He pawned that hoe too. Ain't that a bitch? And I'm just making shit up. I don't know if he really did that. Rocket Man, shut the fuck up. The only thing blacks taking over is Twitter. That's a fact, Jack. That's about it. And shit, niggas on it, Twitter can't even fucking agree. That's getting taken over by the black feminists and shit. Said if Africans and African Americans came together, I think we just come from 2 completely different backgrounds. I think more African Americans should emulate what Africans are doing, because how can a motherfucker come from another country and basically he's got the same skin tone and he's doing the same shit, but you don't ever hear them. You don't hear Africans complain about the same problems that African Americans do, because we have this. We feel like we're owed something and we mad at that. Well, y'all ain't come save us on some old off the wall ass shit. Like, how does an African come here, don't know nobody, barely speak English well, and thrive, become a fucking doctor, become a fucking scam artist, become a fucking something, you know what I'm saying? Thrive, got the goon click name and all that other shit, and thrive, succeed against all odds. You don't hear them motherfuckers come over here talking about fucking police oppression and all this, because shit, the thing is, niggas do it to niggas in Africa, and that's what motherfuckers aren't realizing, dog. Like, police law enforcement is law enforcement to whomever it may be. It doesn't really matter if you black, white, but it's easier when you have a different dynamic to put your foot on a little bit. But at the same time, wherever you go, it's going to be some type of situation between civilian and law enforcement. You know what I'm saying? It is just like, it's craziness. Say, when this reunion happened, would you die to stop slavery? I'm not dying to. That's what I'm telling. This is what I'm going to tell y'all. One thing I'm always be consistent on. Like, I want to see people do better. The only reason why I want people to do better, and I want my people to do better, is for more opportunities for me. I have a selfish notion that, yes, I want it to be better for the future of all people, but for more so for me, while I'm here, I want shit to be better for me. And that's the way I look at shit. You know what I mean? I'm going to be honest with you. Like, do I care about everybody else? Like, yeah, I care, but I think the way that I see things would benefit society as a whole, not just me, but it would be better for me, especially because that's the way I view it. But outside of that, like, that's why I say I just can't be with all the shit that's going on, because like I say, that's why I say I look at everybody individually. Like, I try my best not to lump everybody together except for the Mexicans, you know, the authentic real Mexicans, and the rest of you Hispanics. Y'all get to be blessed. You know, you get to be blessed by getting put into the category of Mexicans. Slavery was a choice, man. You know what I'm saying? There's slavery in Africa. I mean, shit by our own people. That's what I'm saying. It's like, we say a lot of things, but again, it's not like all of Africa is enslaved. You know, it's not like Africa, all of South Africa is killing all the white farmers. That's not fucking true. You know, at least not from the government's not doing it. And my thing is this, though. My thing is this. Slavery was a choice, because you had a choice to be a slave. You had a choice to die. People always want to assume that, a choice means there's a good and a bad. That's not what the fuck a choice is, man. There's a choice. The choices can be bad and worse. Some choices can be good and great. There's not always a positive and a negative. Sometimes it's a negative and a very negative. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes there's a positive and a somewhat positive. My thing is people, like, it's an American thing, I think, especially, that we just feel like there has to be a good and bad dichotomy and everything. They don't work like that. Now, there's levels to this shit. And so there were motherfuckers who made a choice to jump off the fucking boat in chains, knowing that they were finna fucking drown because they knew what was going on. They realized what was happening. Did they make a choice? Because if you're going to sit here and say, oh, it wasn't a choice, then you're diminishing those people who basically were prideful enough to say, man, fuck that. I'm not going out like that. I'm not finna be a fucking slave. I'm finna kill myself. It's a fucked up choice to make, but it was a choice. So this is what I'm saying. I vote for queso over guac. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, amigo. I don't know about that. So it's morning after slaves waking up, we're awake with his guns to save them. Lord, let the slavery talk. There's slavery in Africa right now. Yeah, I mean, there is. But again, like I say, is that my personal issue right now? No. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Is it something that concerns me? Yeah. Am I going to commit my entire life to go over there and try to slave? No, fuck no. Because again, would I even know about that unless somebody brought that shit to my attention? The same way with most of the things that we deal with in life. If it wasn't for social media, if it wasn't for the TV, if it wasn't for all this other stuff, how would these things affect your life if you didn't invite it into your world? Most of this shit you wouldn't give a fuck about because you wouldn't deal with. But people see other people's stories, see other people's issues. I'm not saying don't stand up for other people. If that's what you truly feel like you want to do, go do it. But for the most part, people are upset about shit in life that doesn't even fucking affect them. They went out and signed up for, or they went out and start following or paying attention to some shit that is really irrelevant. You know, like I say, the fucking, like Michael Shea said when he was talking to him in that little stand-up, he's like, man, don't nobody give a fuck about the gorillas. If somebody wiped out all the fucking gorillas in the world, would you really know? No, you wouldn't, unless somebody came and fucking told you, because you don't give that much of a fuck. The only reason you gave a fuck about Harambe is because they made a fucking story out of the shit. You don't really give a fuck about gorillas, like, and that's how most of the world is with everyday shit. Oh, man, like even this Cardi B and fucking, I don't give a fuck about none of them bitches. I don't listen to their music. But it's something to talk about. You know what I mean? The reason why it affects me is because the Kush Den is about having a conversation about things, and we talk about things. And so that's the only reason that it affects me. But outside is, if I didn't have the Kush Den, or we weren't, you know, I wouldn't give a shit about either one of them bitches if they fucking both burned up in a fucking house fire. You know? Would you beat someone's ass if they walk up to you and said, yeah, I would beat their ass, and then I'd come find you and beat your ass too. Just for thinking about it. You said if you believe something, stand for it, even if it means sacrifice everything, just do it. Case of mole. I don't like where you're going with that. I don't like where you're going with that, Heidi. No, sounds like some your inner culinary arts over there. You know, I don't like what's going on with that. So here's the thing. Again, these are just my thoughts. These are just my opinions. There he goes with that stuff. I we're playing no games today. She ain't even let Jay Bird get the party started today, huh? That's fucking funny. That motherfucker got like 5,200 accounts. Jay Bird can't be stopped. I mean, you're gonna catch. You think you mouse clicking? You gonna catch a finger cramp fucking with Jay Bird and these 272 accounts that this motherfucker got. My thing is this. Life is what you make it. Life is what you think about. Life is the thoughts that you create and the shit that you focus on. If you focus on the negative, we talked about this the other day. If you focus on the negative, yesterday, as a matter of fact, if you look for racism and shit, man, it's millions, hundreds of millions of people in America. You're going to find incidents. You're going to find accounts of the shit. And then you're going to find a bunch of made up accounts. Because how many times have we seen, I remember it's been something like, I remember when they said somebody burned that church up and wrote Trump on the side. I remember like, that's false from the jump, whenever I fucking saw that shit. When I saw that shit, I was like, them niggas did that shit themselves. Come to find out, they did it themselves. The fucking Muslim chick who was talking about, yeah, the white guy in the store stole my fucking hijabi and did some shit. I was like, that's a fake story. Come to find out, it was fucking fake. It's a lot of fucking false ass stories out there, and people create this shit thinking that they're helping a movement. Well, people need to pay attention to this problem, so I'm gonna create a false story so people start focusing more on these. Like, no, you're just inflaming a bunch of people. You're tapping into a bunch of people's emotions, getting people emotional, which is the worst fucking thing. You know, you're making people be reactionary. You know what I mean? And reactionary is just purely being a fucking emotional, and that's all it is. Like I say, the other day was something I was watching, and it put it in great terms. You know, you can react or you can respond. You know what I'm saying? Reacting is purely emotional. It's not logical. It's not thought out. It's not tactical. A response gives people an understanding of how you truly feel, who you truly are, or what you're truly, trying to say. The majority of the world, the majority of Americans, I will say, are reactionary. The majority of black people today are reactionary because they tie their emotions into the shit that's going on, and then they fucking flip the script. Oh, you know, couldn't be me, this, and this, and shit. Half the time you see a motherfucker stepped on my shoes, had to kill him. Is that a response or is that a reaction? You know what I mean? It is what it is. But again, like I say, it's crazy stuff, man. You gotta realize what's going on, and they want you to be, they want you to react, you know, because when you react, you're controlled. When you react, they're pushing your buttons. They're the ones that have control over you. They're stimulating your response. Okay, let me see. Bet. Okay, cool. Let me make sure. I don't know if it's I don't know if there's no attachments to it. Let me see. No. That's not what I was trying to do. But again, like I was saying, you know, man, it's a crazy thing. You know, you want to respond, not react. Because when you're reacting, they got control over you, man, and whoever it may be. But a lot of people think it's legitimate. Yeah, you know, I did this and I punched him in the face. But like, even when whoever said that shit, if somebody walked with me and said, "Nigga, call me nigga," if you just saying some shit, okay. If you hoping to get a reaction out of me, it's probably not going to happen. Now, if you come at me in a threatening manner and I feel like you're going to accost me, you're going to try to cause me harm, I'm gonna beat you within an inch of your life. If not, if I don't push it over the fucking brink, because I'm about, you know, self-preservation at all costs. That's the strongest instinct that we have. But if you just saying some shit trying to get a reaction, if you trying to yell some shit and take off running like the fucking coward or doing some shit like that, you get no win from me. Just look at that fucking pussy piece of shit. And that's how it is. And that's what the majority of people are, man. The majority of people are fucking pussy. Like, majority of people say a bunch of shit on the internet and won't say a motherfucking thing to your face. You know what I mean? And so we're finna wipe all the Boston out. You know what I'm saying? We're finna wipe all the Boston out. We're gonna go to old England. We're there now. And I shouldn't be anybody's hero. You know what I'm saying? So that's a thing there. Two, It's like, if I am, you need to up your ante a little bit. You need to shoot a little bit higher. I'm just a messenger. I'm just telling you how I'm going to react, or how I'm going to respond, or how I would be. You have your own life, and you have to make your own decision to determine what's of value to you, what thoughts matter to you, what image matters to you. A lot of people stand on a false image of themselves, a false narrative. A lot of people want to believe in certain things because it makes them feel good. A lot of people are emotional, honestly. Like, motherfuckers you may think is real, or motherfuckers you may think this, that, or third. It's really emotions that drive them. It's not logic. It's not sensible thinking. It's not saying, okay, here's a plan that I have. Let's calculate this. Let's execute. And we're going to move in this manner because we're trying to execute a plan. A lot of motherfuckers are emotional. Somebody said something, fuck them. I hate them because of whatever. Man, you'll be surprised. I watch people I hate quite often. I watch motherfuckers I cannot stand quite often just to see what I can learn from them. Just to test my balance isn't the word, but just to I guess to test myself, like, how much of this can I stand? Like, can I really pay enough attention to something that I have displeasure with to try to gain some type of value out of it? And you'll be surprised what you can get from shit like that. But most people, because they don't like something, or it's not something that appeals to their ego or whatever it is, they'll miss out on some of the most valuable stuff because I can't stand that, or I don't like that because I don't like that person. But the person may be spitting knowledge. The person may be talking about something real good. A lot of people hate a lot of motherfuckers, but there's usually a reason why people follow particular people. You need to be at tailgates and do a live pregame on the field if that happens. The number will be off the chart. Yes, I have analytic charts in my creator studio, Heidi. I got to figure out how to make that shake. I'm gonna have to figure out how to make that shake. Whatever, Heidi. You were listening to Cardi B when you were over there trying to floss, so miss me with that. So how do you stop black females like Cardi B and Blac Chyna from influencing the black community? I mean, there's nothing you can do about that, because what you have here again, low standards. We have this thing where we all want to be entertainers. It's the same way, niggas is following whatever rapper is hot nowadays, so it's not just black females, but then niggas acting like the fucking rappers, the females acting like the strippers or whatever, and then they're thinking this is real love, this is what it's supposed to be. When in reality, again, it's the lack of thought process in the black community, lack of will to read and things like that. I tell motherfuckers all the time, man, don't only read books by black authors, because that's the problem we have. Motherfuckers try to say, oh, we don't know this because they holding it from us and they don't want us to do this. These motherfuckers write books. What are you talking about? Like, go read the fucking books. They're not like back in the day. You were banned from having access to the books. You would get killed. Now you got to kill a nigga. You got to put a nigga within the brink of his life to get him to read some shit, unless it's written by somebody. Like, stop reading books out the fucking African American sections. Cause stop reading books only out the black section. Stop reading these fucking fiction books. The fucking information is there. The things that you need are there. But people fucking. They don't want us to have it. I got to watch BET because it's black entertainment. Man, I have not watched BET in close to, I want to say 11 or 12 years. Like, really, like, I don't fuck with that shit. Like, don't fuck with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it just, it kills me. People have to make decisions for themselves, man. And like I say, most people don't want to do that. Most people want to be entertained. And then they wonder why they go down this road or why these things happen to them. And it is what it is. So, I can't tell you the answer, how to stop making them idolize them, because there are plenty of other solid role models out there. But the same way we sit here and talk about, oh, they don't want to let black people do this, they not letting us do this and do that. But there's fucking plenty of black millionaires. There's a couple of African black billionaires. There's a couple of niggas who are on the brink of billions who have more money than P. Diddy. but they'll show you P. Diddy because he's a familiar, easy name. So we think, oh, we got to get it through entertainment, or we got to get it through this, that, and the third. When it's a lot of niggas making a lot of money, there were slaves who were actual slaves that became millionaires back before inflation and all this other crazy, before the money was worth a lot more than it is now. Became real millionaires by having a thought and executing. But yet somehow still everything is, we're oppressed. We're talking about real fucking slaves when the shit was really Jim Crow, when the shit was really, you know, there were real obstacles. You know, the information wasn't there. Again, when you would get bodied for reading a book, shit like that. That became millionaires, that created, that made movements, that did things when there was no internet, when there wasn't no trending, when there wasn't none of this bullshit that we sit here and say, oh, we can do this. Yeah, but we have more tools now that we can use to get to that level. But we have more excuses than anything. That's why I just like, I can't, millionaires, you finna, Shaq Kush finna pop up out of nowhere when you say that. But that's why I say I can't hear the excuses. I'm just looking for the answers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that there's a way, regardless of the mistakes that I've made in my past, regardless of the hindrances. Like, I don't look at none of that shit as a stoppage. Like, it does limit certain things, but I know that if I continue to pursue and I continue to, you know, try a little bit of this, mix a little bit with this, put a little of this in the sauce, put a little bit of that in the sauce, eventually I'm gonna come with the flavor, and this shit is gonna make it A1. I'm not trying to hear no, but because of this, but because when you do that type of shit, when you come with these buts or they stopping us or all this, you'd already put yourself behind schedule because you've created these fictional beings who nobody sitting there plotting and saying, all right, that fucking Ed Honcho, he's gonna make it one day, and we gotta stop him. We gotta make sure that he doesn't make it. Like, nobody's fucking doing that. All right, Mr. Rabbit, you have a good one. Stay away from the strawberry milk. But so people just fucking, I'm gonna put my Nikes on right now, and the chains of oppression will be broken. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is, man. Like, so I don't see any of that shit. You talking about Justice fucking Justice Hardy? Yeah, that motherfucker might be trying to. I don't give a fuck about that fucking whack ass. That dude's so weak. That motherfucker don't have the ability, doesn't have the potential, doesn't have the possibility to cease to do what I'm fucking trying to do, or to cease me from doing anything. But again, all the rest of that shit, man, I can't buy that shit though. I'm not buying that shit, man, because the thing is, like I say, your thoughts, the way you think, the way you feel, not the way you feel, but the way you think and the way you operate off those thoughts, the way your thoughts control everything. And you get those things harnessed, and you get those things aligned properly, you know, your body's a part of it too. There's no looking back. But people are looking for external facts. It's this and it's this and it's this and it's them and they and that and this is what's stopping us. It ain't none of that, man. It's all internal. You know what I'm saying? It's all internal. You're so excited and you just can't hide it. I'm about to lose control and I think I like it. Justice of Shaq Kush. I don't know, man. If you ever smell something that smells like eggs whenever justice comes around, then it may be that dude Shaq Kush. Like, I'll never, ever, 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 ever get over the fact that oh my God, the Instagram kills me with these bots. Like, this is some fucking black page. I guess they go around featuring black women in bikinis, drawers, and underwear. Usually that's the lick. And talking about what I put up. Oh, this is gorgeous. No, it's not. It's a fucking said our black women, basically our black role models, trash. But like I said, but I love it. To me, that shit is just hilarious. I find that shit so fucking funny. Bill O'Brien versus Honcho. I'm gonna say, hey, Bill, love the job you've been doing, Bill. I like you better than Kubiak. So how do you feel about that Bob McNair? I don't know. It wouldn't be a big deal. That fucking, what was it? 1 minute, no, 1 hour, 4 minutes and 27 seconds. I'm gonna have to bring that up. I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna go back and find that shit, and I'm gonna play it in the Kush den in the next den, in tomorrow night's den. We'll have a den tomorrow night, and that means you got a little gas. You fart, you get a good fart out there. You get rid of that muffin top instantly. But that shit was nasty. That shit was like moist. That shit was disgusting, dog. That shit was awful. That shit was so awful. Like, I've had nightmares about that fart. Like, no bullshit. But here's the deal. All right, we didn't win a little change in the den. Even though we got the den started a little bit late. I'll give y'all, we'll get a little bit of mixer action, and I'll test out that Battlefield beta. So I'll get on that for a little bit, but we won't go too long in the mixer action. But we'll talk a little shit. We'll discuss Shaq Kush and his lactose intolerance. It was bad, man. You know, I'm a bad man, not ashamed of it. Definitely wasn't ashamed of that. You said, did anyone else show up to that mixer? Was just you? That was the one that he farted in. That was the one that he farted in. And then 335, and I think somebody else went back and weapons of gas destruction. That they went back and found the actual timestamp of when it happened. It was bad, though. I'm not joking. Like, anytime anybody's like mentioned the word fart, like since the last week or so, or since that's happened, like, I have a flashback. It was just, I can't even fabricate the fart properly. It was moist, and it was bad. It was bad. Like, it sounds probably like what it sounds like right before you die in a gas chamber or some shit like that. The deep breath of disgust. It was just, oh man, it's not even close. Wink would get blown out, literally. Like, literally, it's not even close. Winks was low key, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was slightly noticeable. It was noticeable, but Shaq Kush is one of those that stops. That just it stops everything else that's going on. You know what I'm saying? It was high level gassery, but I mean, it would, like, it's one of those things, like, if you were at a public venue, a concert, a speech, something like that, and there was like a pause in the action and that shit was let out, it would ruin the entire event. Like, people would leave. It was that bad. Like, Winks would have been just kind of, Winks could have like surfaced well below, you know, the crowd noise. 'Cause, you know, like in between events, like, you know, when people are talking or there's an intermission or something like that, there's that level of crowd speaking, you know, where you can speak to people next to you, but it's just like a level of noise. Like, Winks could have got away in that, you know, it could have been unnoticed. But that shit right there, that shit right there, nigga, it was bad, man. It was definitely bad. I saw the documentary of Andre the Giant. I think that fart, like, that probably goes down in history as one of the worst that I have. But see, here's my thing. I don't think I've farted on. I mean, if I have farted on a stream, I've probably paused it or muted it or something. But I don't think I've like really ever had to fart on a stream. I probably farted like during a mixer and I've cut my mic or some shit. But it was nothing on that level, on the rectum scale. What does the scale ultimately go up to? That's what we need to know. Is it like a 7.0 scale? Is that like a 7.0, 8.0 max? Because I think we're talking, if it goes to 10, then that's not a high enough rating. That shit is, that's what I told him. I told him it was like, yeah, what are the fucking tents where where they go and they fucking fumigate the house and they put like a fucking tent over the whole house. That shit, it was one of those, man. So how do you deal with ignorant people? Just don't, man. Don't. And I think that's what we'll talk about tomorrow, because that's what I was going to talk about. That I remembered I want to talk about the tomfoolery that went on today. But basically, how to stop dealing with it. It was a different term I was going to use, but basically how to avoid dealing with ignorant people, or how to stop fucking with ignorant friends and things like that. And I'm just telling you, it's honestly not worth it, man. If someone is not trying to benefit your life, if the conversations are no longer positive, if it's not like, if you have a friend and some of y'all are younger, so if you're still in high school, you got to figure things out. But at the same time, you can still be thinking positive. You can be thinking about your future. You can be thinking about what you're trying to accomplish. And it's a good time now. I'm not saying you're going to know it all. You're going to have many bumps and bruises, but it's good to set a trajectory of where you would like to go. But if you're older, your 20s, mid 20s, your 30s, however, whatever age you may be, and the people you fucking with are the same. They're on the same shit that they were on when you met them in elementary, junior high, high school, whatever, and they're not about positivity. They're not about, increasing their level of knowledge. If they don't benefit you, and I'm not saying in the sense to where you just use people, oh, what can you do for me? No, there should always be a mutual relationship. But if the people that you're fucking with do not help you grow as a person, you know what I'm saying? It's not just a money thing. Oh, it's cool. Yeah, I got a friend. They lend me money, whatever it is. But it's not about that. Like, if they can't help you grow as a person, if y'all can't sit down and have a brainstorming session about things, or y'all can't sit down and have an intelligent conversation about particular topics or whatever it may be, you may need to minimize your time with that person, especially if you're a college student and you're trying to grow and you're trying to do something. You have a career that you're trying to pursue. It'd be better for you to start fucking with people who are better off than you. It's a saying, you don't ever want to be the smartest guy in the room. You know what I'm saying? And you just gotta figure it out. You just see a stream for 5 days goes 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 30. No, that's not the one. This one was probably what, 2 or 3 days ago, maybe 3, maybe up to 4 days ago. But it would have been longer than that, because that fart happened, and we probably went it may be another 10 to 15 minutes after that. So I would think maybe look for one. If there was one that was about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes in that vicinity, that might be the one that you want to check out. They say women fart more than men. I do believe it. Y'all know that was like one of the Kush that got one of the most views. Do women fart? Like, that's a real odd thing. Why is the fart in the landmark of that street? Because it ruined everything. I mean, nothing was the same after that. He leveled the stream. It was done. You're also ignorant. You can't fucks with all. Well, I don't know. I don't know about that, Heidi. You are the discoverer of the donkey fuckers. So, on some levels, I'm just saying. But my thing is this. It was serious. That fucking fart was detrimental to the mixer. I think it broke Microsoft for a little bit. That fart is probably what got White Persuasion banned for a little bit. It somehow got through the wires and it seeped through to his account and got him into some shit. But there's that. RBI baseball. Let me see what you got there. He farted in more than one stream? Probably. But no, that was just the one, though. That was the one stream. The one you were in was the one that cracked Microsoft window. That's why the pub did. Exactly. You talking about his maps ain't rendering shit. They rendered. It's just the gas. You couldn't see through the fucking gas. That shit there is fucking hilarious. But here's the deal. We're going to call it a wrap. I fucked the mixer for a little bit. I'm going to check out that Battlefield 5 beta. So we'll fuck with that for a tidbit. We'll see if Shaq Kush falls through and funks it up. And all that other. Oh, good grief, that's disgusting. That's disgusting, fucking Heidi. Yeah, we spent like the last 15 minutes talking about Shaq Kush's fart. So there's that. Okay, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. But with that being said, mi amigos, my friends in the den, I appreciate you all. I'm glad you all came through, even though it was a last minute notice in the den. But tomorrow, pregame show. I'm excited. It's the beginning of football season. And the Texans will be going 16-0. That's all I have to say about that. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all be safe. Do whatever y'all doing tonight. Y'all ain't got to go home. I'm inviting y'all to come to the mixer. But it's been a minute. Y'all got to get the fuck up out of here.